Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Curiosity Box, and this video is my weekly vlog which I normally film on a Saturday, but my energy was a bit low at the weekend, so I didn't really have the energy to film on the Saturday, which is ironic because I got a lovely comment saying they were impressed by the energy I had in my videos. And also they said that they like how I talk to everyone who watches my videos like they're my friends, and you are my friends unless you're mean to me. So that's how it is. I don't know why I'd speak to you as anything other. And that's why I sort of don't, because I know some bigger YouTubers, when they get loads of people following them, they sort of have a name for their followers, their fans, and I don't want that really. So because it sort of feels like they are then put on a pedestal above the viewers. But I like the analogy of being inside the penguin huddle and just being in a penguin huddle with everybody, not like, but just like that. That's what I prefer. So this week that I'm talking about, I'm going to start with Gareth Bale being on telly. When Gareth Bale first went off to Real Madrid, I was quite sad because I wouldn't see him on telly like every weekend during the football season. But occasionally we do get the Real Madrid games, so he was on telly this week, and he is my favourite footballer because he's so fit and gorgeous mainly, and he's also really good at football. Now, when I was younger, about in the mid-90s, I had a crush on this other footballer, but I've forgotten his name and I've forgotten who he was, but he had really long hair and he was really gorgeous. So that was, and I had little pictures of him on my wall until one day I had a meltdown and ripped all the pictures off my wall. But he's really gorgeous. But Gareth Bale is really fit and I love him. And like when he was on telly, I was like, I have this noise for when he pops up on the sort of pre-match discussions, like, oh, ho, 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 ho. I do that noise. And I just think he's fit. My mum doesn't think he's fit as much, but I think he's fit, so I always like to have the Real Madrid games on. So also this week I was quoted by the BBC Entertainment News because I was one of the people who sent a loving tweet to Sue Perkins because what happened was there was a completely made up story of Sue Perkins possibly being the new Top Gear presenter, and some sad little people who just could not get a grip sent death threats that there was going to be Sue Perkins possibly presenting a show about cars, which was completely made up and wasn't true anyway. And so they sent her death threats on Twitter, which is completely the most pathetic thing ever. Can you imagine little people sending death threats because, oh no, somebody else is playing with the cars. It's like, get a grip. So I sent a tweet, well basically I said the people who were sending her threats and death threats and stuff were absolute scum, and then said how awesome and brilliant she is, because she is. And then the BBC Entertainment website picked out the absolute scum bit and used it as sort of like a heading within the article. So, but then people told me, oh, you're quoted on BBC, you're quoted on BBC. And then Mum said that my brother and sister-in-law had WhatsApped me to say, oh, you're on the BBC, you're on the BBC. And Mum said, what do you want to say back to him? I was like, oh, am I meant to say something back? And just like, after some witty comments, like, okay. But I just sent the original encouraging tweet to Sue Perkins because she's lovely and awesome, and people who send threats to people on Twitter are completely little pathetic idiots. So that was the famey, exciting bit. So we also had another party. We had another for the opposition. We had the debate for the opposition, and I really like that picture of Natalie, Nicola, and I've forgotten what her name. Leanne, is she Leanne? They were all hugging because they did a really good job on the debate, and I really like that picture. And Nigel Farage was an idiot again. Then he had a tantrum because the BBC weren't pandering to him. So this comes on to my political bit of, I hope you have all registered to vote, and I hope you will all use your vote. Even if you go along and spoil the ballot, at least you'll have had your voice in the game then. So yeah, I just lost the game. Sorry about that. But so at least go and use your vote, because it really annoys me that there's loads of us on Twitter saying use your vote, and then there's loads of other people saying, wow, I'm not bothering, why should I bother, they're all knobheads. Yeah, we know they're all knobheads, and we know we haven't got a brilliant person in the running, but you could still use your vote because you could still make a difference. Even if you want to go and write on the ballot paper they're all knobheads, at least you've expressed that. Because if you just sat at home saying not voting for any of them, they're all knobheads, nobody knows that. Whereas if they know half the country think they're all knobheads, then they know that something's up then. But see, I just thought of this sort of thing when I was washing my face and getting ready for this video, and I thought, if I ruled the world, well, for starters, I wouldn't rule the world anyway, but it would be weird. But if there was like a magic wand and I got to pick some things to change the world, I would give scientists who are working on cures for diseases all the materials free. I just find it so odd that we have to have all these different events and all these activities to raise money for scientists to cure diseases, when we started on Earth with no money and nothing and built up everything we've got on Earth now from the Earth. Somebody invented money and said you've got to have money to do that. Why can't scientists just get all the materials they need for free to cure diseases? Because it seems to me that money is the only thing that is stopping people curing these diseases. So I don't get why the politicians or everybody and all the people in power are just letting loads of people die from diseases, when if they just give the scientists everything they needed for free, then the diseases would be cured. Because we've made everything, us humans have made everything from the earth, and the only and then a human came along and decided to put up a huge barrier of money and completely change everything. So I'd give scientists everything they need for free, and everybody who's doing something that's going to benefit the planet or cure ill people should get the supplies free, because that would benefit all of us, and then we wouldn't have diseases, and it seems obvious. Another thing I would do is that I would ban guns in America, because it's so frustrating when America there's like a ton of shootings all the time, and then when people are reasonably saying, well, ban guns, there's people on Twitter who are saying no, it's my right to have a gun, no, it's not your right. A gun, and say, oh, can I have guns? We need guns because that person might have gun. A gun is just a thing that is meant to kill something. So basically, when they're saying I have the right to a gun, there's even kids who are given kiddie guns and told to shoot. So basically, America full of potential murderers. Basically, I don't say, oh, it's a gun. Like, no, it's like, let's teach the little kiddies to murder things. You don't have the right to bear arms. It should be changed to that somehow they have the right to murder, because that's basically what it boils down to. And they think they're so macho because they've got guns. Well, you're not. You're just pathetic. And then there's somebody that, I won't even say a name, that incredibly ignorant, evil woman who goes round shooting wild animals. Sorry, my camera just sort of did something. So anyway, as I was saying, there was pictures going around of this woman who decided to go and make a baby giraffe an orphan by shooting their parent. And then she just thinks it's so amazing that she uses this weapon to go and kill some wild mummies and daddies and leave their kids orphans. She takes pleasure in shooting parents and ruining kids' lives. So she's horrible. So that was on that was on Twitter this week. So yeah, as I was saying, obviously you'd very much want to make sure everybody had enough to eat, and that all the countries were peaceful and everybody had a nice home and plenty of food to eat, and they were all comfortable in their own countries. That'd be awesome. I was going to that there was this program on, and it was about the right wing, and it was about how they were by showing loyalty to your country by being completely horrible to other people. That doesn't. If you do something like horrible and you say, oh, it's on behalf of your country or your religion, no, it's not. It's just you trying to find an excuse for you choosing to make really evil, horrible choices. Nothing is. It's just they like kill things like on behalf of some ink written in a book. All religion is ink written in a book, seems to me. Most of it is. And you can either use that ink written in a book to love people and respect people, or you can choose that to read those words and somehow use that as an excuse for you to be an evil murderer. To use that as an excuse to be an evil murderer. So I hate that things are used, like countries and books with ink in are used as justification for horrible murdering evilness. I don't get that. It's just a risk, but it seems to me that it's all they just want to show how big their penises are. Like, since they haven't developed from caveman days when you had to be big and strong and virile to further the species, but we don't need that now. So you don't need to show how macho you are by killing people, because that just makes you look like a coward. And surely if you want people to follow a specific religion or respect a specific country, then why would you kill things? It doesn't make any sense. Humans want to survive and carry on. surely if you want people to respect your country should do everything it can to get world peace and make sure every person on the planet has a happy life. That's how you get your country respected, and that's how your religion would be respected, if you use your belief to make everybody happy and comfortable and have a happy life with no fighting. That's how you should get people to respect your religion or your country. So yeah, that was my political bit. And I forgot everything I wanted to say because I had to just take a break because my camera was playing up. So this week there has been, oh yeah, my other thing was I have everybody who's autistic just respected, and people would stop trying to find a cure and stop supporting Autism Speaks and stop calling us a tragedy or broken like that think he's Robert Kennedy. Well, he called us that and he's completely ignorant. But there is, as you can tell from most of my videos, I'm not necessarily the most fluent when it comes to speaking what I want to express, but there is a wonderful person called, I think you say it, Amythest. She's done a wonderful video called What is Autism, and she explains it incredibly well. So I'm going to link to her video in the below bar, and I want everybody to watch it, and I want you to show everybody else to watch it, and then them to show everybody else, because I think every person on the planet needs to watch it, because she is fantastic at explaining everything that's really important. So mostly this week I have been watching Game of Thrones series 3, and I have been reading these Game of Thrones comics book, the Hedge Knight comic books. Now these are all about Sir Duncan the Tall, and they are set 100 years before the start of Game of Thrones. And then I've started reading the graphic novel of Game of Thrones, which is really cool. I kind of want to tell, because my brother likes Game of Thrones too, I kind of want to tell my mum and introduce him to Game of Thrones too, but it's kind of rude, and it's so incredibly rude, and I'd be so embarrassed. And the books are really long, and I don't think they've got the attention span for the books. But I'm thinking of showing them the graphic novels. But so I've got numbers 1 to 3, and I've pre-ordered number 4 of the graphic novels, so I don't know how far that will get me in the story. But these just seem to be sort of the least-ish rude items. That is the story. Or I could get them to read the behind-the-scenes book, which doesn't really have much rude stuff at all. So I could show them that. So now I'll show you the art that I've done this week. I'm sorry, my camera's being a pain. Let me just... Sorry, I have to keep stopping. But this is the... So, I'll show you the comic strip I did first. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is the comic strip I did. And this is all about because we used to have a house in France, right? And this is all about what some of the features of the house in France that we used to have. So I had my own bedroom, which was haunted, and it was made out of the original stones, that because it was originally sort of a ruined cottage, so they rebuilt it, but they used the original stones. So I've done a panel on that, which meant there was loads of creepy crawlies. And then I've done a panel about how beautiful the sky was, because it really was. It was amazing. And then a little panel about how there used to be cows in the field opposite, which would be really cool. And we used to get, like, when we used to go on day trips out and stuff, or just to the bakery and the boulangerie, because my granddad was French and my granny was English. They met during the war and then they did loads of interesting things, because my mum sort of got the job of editing Granny's biography, and I really wanted her to publish it because I really want it to be like a TV series or a movie. And I've already picked Jack P. Shepherd as one of the actors, because we've been thinking about which actors would play which of our family, because Mum's got 11 as one of 11, so it's a big story. But anyway, I was talking about driving down past the cows. Oh yeah, drive, because we used to visit, because my granny and granddad went back to live in France when I was little, so from then on we had holidays in France, and then eventually mum and dad bought a cottage so we could stay in the cottage and not be so stressful for granny and granddad. So we'd go have the cottage and we drive down this lane past the field with all the cows in, and we go, "Hi girls," and then "See you later girls," and then in the evenings I'd go on the balcony of the cottage and I'd sing tunes to the cows, because I felt quite confident because it was just singing to the cows. So that comic strip's all about our house in France. And then I think after I did the previous weekly vlog, I went on to draw George Clooney. I think I mentioned that in the video. So I did draw George Clooney, but I was thinking it's possibly I was going to change the title, but then I'd probably just leave the title, because I think it's George Clooney merged with Philip Schofield a bit. So that my George Clooney, and then the next thing after that particular one, I did a big one, which is me and David Tennant. And this picture, sorry, my words are getting stuck. This picture is called Lust, because we're looking at these cakes. And if you go to my blog, autisticinnerspace.wordpress.com, then sort of look at the picture following it down, you can see a sort of story of how excited we are about cake. Because what I really like with these pictures, things I really get intrigued by are scale, changing the scale and size of things, and depth. So I like how I get depth in my pictures even though it's still just 2D materials. So I've got the sky, then the bunting, then me and the doctor, then this big table of yumminess. And I invented a dessert, which is this one, which is ice cream. I found a picture of cake, and I put that cake in this bowl. Then I found a picture of ice cream, and then put the ice cream on top of the cake, and then found a strawberry and put the strawberry on top. So it's like an ice cream cake. So that picture's called Lust. And then the picture I did on Saturday, because I did have the energy to do a drawing. So what I did on Saturday is, this next picture is called An Evening with Seth MacFarlane. So I wanted to draw Seth MacFarlane. So I drew Seth MacFarlane. Then I wanted to draw Brian and Stewie. So I did Brian and Stewie, and I did me hugging Brian, because Brian is one of my very favourite characters from Family Guy. So I'm kind of hugging him, and he's not quite sure. And then Stewie is at the bottom there, checking me out with his eyes. So, and the bow, I illustrated from Bow XOXO. Bow XOXO, which is where I get some of my hair accessories from. And the dress is one I found at ASOS, because I like going to ASOS and looking for something I can draw myself into. So that's my Evening with Seth MacFarlane picture. I just got to go back onto that on my blog and put the caption of what I'm wearing. So it is Monday today, and this weekly vlog is usually filmed on Saturday. So my plans are, I've got my comic. I'm going to do my comic next, my new comic, and I've got one of my collage pictures is going to be, I've got an idea for an Eccleston picture, which should be a bit smaller than that, because when I go through my collage, when I was going through my catalogues for look for cakes, I found some sort of other things that, yeah, do a picture of that, yeah, so I got some more ideas. I'm going to stop now because my words aren't doing very well at the moment. My words aren't coming out very well at the moment, so I'm just going to stop filming now. So I hope you have enjoyed this weekly vlog, and thank you for watching.